All right, for today's episode of The Wisecrack, we're taking it out to America's Playground, Las Vegas, Nevada. And I got the lovely Veronica from Galaxy Auto Glass. So how you doing, Veronica?
I'm doing good. Doing good,
Cool.
staying busy.
There you go. Busy is always good, but shout out to you. This is your 10th year in the industry. So congrats on that feat.
Thank you.
So if you're doing every position in auto glass, like what's your favorite job?
So my most favorite that's recently it was is the doing windshield repairs. I like actually getting to meet some my customers. A lot of them like to be out there with me, so it kind of helps me build a rapport with them and wow them with the repair before and after.
There you go. Yeah, windshield repairs is easy on the body. It's always easy to explain to people. And when you build that rapport with people and you can explain what you do and then, the little small talk from time to time, but also educating people in between repairs, that's always cool and rewarding work. All right, so with windshield repair being your first love, right? So what are some of your go-to tools when it comes to doing a windshield repair?
I really like the Elite Plus. It is cordless. It has an extra battery pack. It just takes care of the curing really fast. It's great. It's a great product to have.
Yeah, now I like the Elite Plus too because you can do 12 volt, 120 volt, and with that built in battery pack, you don't have to worry about cords getting inside the customer's car and all that little bit. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you on that part. The Elite Plus is a go to, right? So,
Yep.
10 years later, right? If you had to do it all over again, would you get back in the auto glass industry or would you do something different?
Absolutely. I would totally get back in the auto glass industry. I mean, cars aren't going on anywhere. They're just getting more advanced with technology. So our price points are also increasing because people want to preserve their windshield. They want to save money on replacing it. So it's an easier sell, especially for the cars with the recalibrations. Very
Mhm,
low overhead to do a repair. And
mhm.
again, you get to take that time to like meet your customers and then build a relationship with them for life versus just that one time
Yeah, yeah. Now
repair.
that makes sense. So yeah, it's a growing industry, and people are always gonna opt to get their every car is gonna always have a windshield. So we always gonna have business and potential customers out there, right? So you went from being mobile to having having a storefront, right? So you got two storefronts to be exact, right? So what are some of the pros and cons to having a storefront? Are there any?
So there's big pros. There's still a lot of people that like to come into the shop and have that experience of going somewhere and getting repair work done, plus the convenience of having an appointment at that exact time versus an open window when you're doing mobile service. It does get kind of tricky with dispatching sometimes though, when somebody wants in shop and then every 90% want mobile.
Mhm.
So there is that. That's kind of a con, but if you schedule it right, it all kind of works out. So you kind of have to know what you're doing when you're dispatching.
Yeah.
But I love it. There's a lot of cars that we like to do in shop, like Tesla sunroofs or even the windshield replacements
Mhm.
for those. Some recalibrations that are better done in shop as well. And yeah, it's been awesome. I like having to separate the office from my home
Yeah.
and not having that at home, and just doing it at the office and leaving it here and going home.
Nah, there you go. Now that makes sense. With everything out there, it's always pros and cons. But like you said, if you get the right balance from shop and managing it right, you'll be a-okay with that. So, with that being said, dispatching jobs and communicating with the customers, customer service is really big in our industry. So, like, how important is customer service? And give me a couple of customer service tips from your 10 years of being in the auto glass industry.
So I think customer service is super important, especially now because a lot of the big corporations that we're also used to lack customer service. I mean, they don't even want to pay to put a live person on the phone to take care of you anymore. They want you to go to automated and go online, book an appointment. So for us being able to, actually speak to a live person that actually lives in your city, knows what streets you're talking about.
Right.
I think that already right there wins customers over a lot because
Mhm.
a lot of the big chains don't have that anymore. And then just, word of mouth, how you treat people with the
Mhm.
repairs and replacements, respecting their time is a big one, especially because when you're mobile, you have those open time frames. It's always good to give them a heads up at the beginning of the time frame. So that way, if they are going to be towards the end, they know if they can run out and do something. I think that my customers appreciate that a lot. We always try to give them a couple hours of heads up if we know we're going to be running towards the end of their time frame.
Right.
And then not also just with the initial appointments, but sometimes there's going to be issues that happen. It's part of the business, and
Yeah.
how good you could take care of them, how quick you take care of them, and communication in the process. People appreciate that a lot, because there's a lot of people that will just ignore you because they don't have the answers, they don't know what to tell you. But people just want communication, and I think that's super big in this industry, is communicating with your customers. People appreciate that, and when you respect their time, they'll
Yeah.
respect you.
Nah, that's what's up. Yeah, respecting someone's time and communicating and setting the right expectations so they know what to expect and what's gonna happen with this is very key, right? So, with that same thing going, what are some of the common questions you receive from customers when they call in? Like they call in, they want to repair. Do they know they want to repair, or they do the replacement, or what are some of the common questions that you actually get?
Well, they'll try to get it, even if it looks like it needs a replacement, they're gonna try to save some money.
Right.
So, whenever I say repair, replacement. Sometimes they're like, "Well, I don't know if it can be repaired." So I always start with the size. I
Yeah.
like to keep mine at the size of a debit card.
Hmm.
For us, that's about 3.5, 4 inches.
Hmm.
Anything larger than that, we don't we recommend a replacement.
Right.
I always explain to them on the phone as well that it does not I ask them first, "Have you ever had a windshield repair done before?" Because then
Right.
I can kinda gauge if they have or they haven't. So
Right.
if they say they haven't, I tell them, "This is structural. The purpose is to help preserve your windshield from spreading. It's not gonna disappear. If you're looking
Right.
for cosmetic, we recommend you replace it." So,
Right.
we definitely like to communicate that to them beforehand, and then also when the technician gets there, that way there's no surprises. Or,
Hmm.
we always also let them know it can crack out. So if it does happen, they're not like, "Oh man, you broke out my windshield," and
Right.
make you think you're responsible for replacing it. 'Cause there was a time where I didn't tell. The one time you don't say it is the one
Yep.
time it cracked out, and it's gonna be the most expensive windshield, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is on you," and I'm not gonna, like, tell
Yeah.
the customer, like, "No," because
Right.
your reputation's on the line, and I didn't do my job. I didn't tell them ahead of time what could happen. So how would they know if I didn't educate them?
Right. Nah, you're right. It's always educating people. And if they don't have questions, you don't assume. It's always educate them. Here's what a windshield repair is. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what it's going to look like. We will restore the structural integrity. We will enhance its cosmetic appearance and it won't crack out. But if you're looking for something that's a cosmetic piece and you want it to disappear, we should replace it. So it's always best to ask them if they have questions, but if not, you control the tempo and you control the situation by giving them all the information that there is to give, so there aren't any surprises on your end or their end, right? So appreciate you for
Exactly.
that. My last question before I get you out of here, I know it's super busy for you, running multiple locations and all that little bit. So for anyone new that's looking to get into the automotive glass industry, and we'll just talk about windshield repair because that's how you started your journey with doing windshield repair. What advice would you give someone that's new out there looking to get started with windshield repair?
Get to know your product in and out. Learn everything about it, because you can't sell something you know nothing about. So, obviously, and you also want to do good work. So, watch as many of the training videos you can. Delta has a whole YouTube with so many training videos. Whenever I hire somebody, I have them start off by just watching all those videos. They may be long, but honestly, there's a lot of great tips on there, and just knowing your product, knowing about the resins, how they work, curing times, every little thing of the process, just getting to know it in and out to be able to answer their questions and not like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that makes sense. Whatever you're trying to get into, regardless of what industry or field it is, do your homework, do your math, know what you're getting yourself into, know that you can or can't do it, and then understand the product, understand the process, because the whole goal is to try to master your craft, but grow as you go. So it's from day one, like take you, for example, you're 10 years in, year 10 should be better than year one. You know what I mean? So grow as
Oh
you
yeah.
go, learn to get better, take advantage of trainers, know your supplier, and just take advantage of trying to better yourself and actually master your craft. So appreciate you for that advice, and I appreciate you for taking time out of your super busy schedule to tap in with us and share some knowledge that you have. And once again, congrats on 10 years being in the industry.
Thank you. Thank you, Corey. Thank you so much, Corey, for everything. And Delta is great.
I appreciate you, and you take care.